All right, in this video, we are given our trigonometric equation and we have to sketch it out and we have to find f of 130 and then we have to find some x values given the y value in between a specific domain. So let's get started with this question. First thing you should notice is that the k value is not factored out. We have a k value and a d value. So the first thing I'm just going to do is I'm going to factor out my k value. Then to sketch the function, I want to do all the key features of this graph. So looking at this equation here, I know that my equation of axis is just y equals to 1. My amplitude is 6. My k value is 0.25, so my period is 360 divided by k, which is just 1,440. And then I'll find the period over 4 so that I know how to sketch the graph and go from one point to the next. Sine and cosine graphs are always split into 4 parts. And that is just going to be 360. I also have a phase shift of 80 degrees to the left. So now let's sketch all this information out. I'll start by drawing my y-axis and I'll leave a little bit of space on the left because I know there's going to be a phase shift to the left. And then my equation of axis is just +1, which I'll put approximately in the middle of the page. My amplitude is 6, so my maximum is 1 plus 6, which is 7. And my minimum is 1 minus 6, which is -5. Next, I'll draw my x-axis, which is right over here, slightly below 1. Now that I have all of my axis and everything drawn out, I can start drawing my graph. So a positive sine function normally starts on the axis, but we are phase shifted 80 degrees to the left. So my starting point is right over here, which is 0 and -80. The next point for a positive sine function is going to be at the maximum, and to find the x value of the maximum, I'm just going to add my period divided by 4 by my initial x value. So -80 plus 360 is just positive 280. My x value here is 280. Next point is an axis point. And again, I'm just going to add another 360 to this value. So it just gives me 640. Next value is a minimum. Add another period over 4, add another 360, and I'll get 1000. And then last point is an axis point. And if I add another 360, I'll get this to be 1360. That's good enough for one cycle. I might have drawn it a bit too wide. This is just a sketch. If you're doing it on grid paper, it should be a bit more accurate. I'll draw my sine graph through these points. Then I'll just extend it a bit and I'll put arrows on both sides. So that's what the sketch of the graph would look like, basically the A part of the question. The B part of the question says to find f of 130. 130 is somewhere over there, so I know my answer should be somewhere between 1 and 7. To calculate it, I'll just sub it into either the original equation or into this one. I'll just do it in the original one because the calculation will be easier. So f of 130 equals 6 sine 0.25 times 130 plus 20 plus 1. I'll start by calculating just the inside of the bracket over here. So 0.25 times 130 plus 20 is 52.5. And then I'll type this all in my calculator. And I get 5.8 approximately if I round to one decimal place, which I know most probably is the right solution because, like I said, 130 is somewhere over here, and the answer should be around, 4, 5, 6, or 7, about 5.8, which looks relatively accurate. The C part of the question says find x if f of x equals to 5 and make sure that the solutions are between 0 and 1360. So for the C part of the question, I'm replacing y with 5. And again, I'll just use the original equation because I think it's a bit easier to solve this one, but it doesn't matter which one you use. You'll end up with the exact same solution. Now I'm just going to try and isolate x. So I'm going to start by subtracting 1. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 6. That's just going to be 2 over 3. And then I'm going to do my cast rule because I will have two solutions here when I do the sine inverse. Sine is positive in the first and the second quadrant. I do the sine inverse of 2 over 3 in my calculator. I will get the acute angle. I'll round it to a whole number, 42 degrees. So my first principal angle here is 42 degrees. So I'm going to go 0.25x plus 20 equals to 42. And I'm just going to solve this for x. So I'll subtract the 20 on the other side. And I'll divide both sides by 0.25. I'll get x equals 88 degrees over here. And then let me solve for the second solution. So on the second quadrant, my principal angle is 180 minus 42. So 0.25x plus 20. 180 minus 42 is 138. I'll isolate for x again. So 0.25x equals 118. And then I'll divide by 0.25 on both sides again. I'll get my second solution to be 472 degrees. Now, both these solutions are between 0 and 1360, so they are both valid. And if I come to my graph here and I do f of x equals 5, somewhere approximately over here, and if I draw a line across, I know that this value should be between 0 and 280, and I got 88 degrees, which looks approximately accurate for this one. And over here, if I draw a line going down here, that does look approximately correct to be as 472 degrees. So I'm pretty confident that my solution is correct. If you made it to the end of this video and you found this content helpful, please hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.